Hey guys, I'm back, and this time I thought I would do a video on stealth and PvP. I'm sure a lot of you have seen people on Twitch or YouTube tucking or hiding on other people's ships, so I thought I'd make a quick guide for when you're more comfortable with the game that can hopefully help you get into some stealth gameplay. Okay, first things first, you probably want to turn out your lanterns if you're trying to be stealthy, and before you ask, yes, even your lanterns beneath deck, leaving your lanterns on at night will make you stick out like a sore thumb. It's also worth noting that if you're trying to stay hidden, you probably shouldn't fly any emissary flags because these can sometimes mark you on the map, and this also goes for the Reaper's Mark. When trying to sneak up on another ship, you definitely do not want to shoot out of your cannon. That's extremely loud and will warn them that you're coming. It's best to just lunge off of your ship and swim there. In Sea of Thieves, the noise it makes when you grab a ladder from the water is instantly recognizable by most players. However, there is a way to quietly board a ladder. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can grab it while you're still underwater, you can grab it while you're not moving, or you can be blocking or aiming down sight when you grab it. This should eliminate the splash noise and let you board quietly. Now, a fun little trick you can do on the sloop if you're trying to hide on it. When you're climbing up the ladder, if you keep your camera straight, keep holding forward, and sword hop towards the mast, you can actually jump from the outside ladder to the ladder up to the crow's nest so you can hide quickly. In Sea of Thieves, your mermaid is your worst enemy when trying to be stealthy. It will spawn when you're too far away from your boat, and it'll spawn in the direction that you're looking. It's important to pay attention to where your mermaid is and whether or not it could have potentially given you away. However, if you're on a rowboat or if you're on an enemy ship, your mermaid should leave you alone. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of tucking or you've seen it done on streams. If you're not familiar, what it is using an emote to hide your character on an enemy ship with the hopes of stealing their treasure. So to do this, you're going to need to go to the Pirate Emporium, located above the Order of Souls purple tent on any outpost. Talk to the shopkeeper, go to the Pirate tab, and scroll over until you see the Hide and Sneak emote bundle. Inside there is a free emote called Hide. This is what you're going to want to use to tuck on other people's ships. The other emotes cost real money. They can be useful, but they are not necessary, so that is up to you. Also, unlike normal emotes, these will actually hide your nameplate unless you are using the in-game mic, so make sure you have push to talk enabled. Okay, so it's time to go through different spots that you can hide on each boat. I'm not going to go through every single spot, I'm just going to show you the ones that I use most often. And it's worth noting that when you're using the emotes, the direction you're facing does matter, so you might want to try and practice these. On the sloop, first up, you can hide in front of the cannon. This seems like a very obvious spot, but a lot of people will miss it. You can hide in the corner below deck. You might want to turn off that lantern. This is a pretty dark spot that people miss. You can also hide behind the barrels below deck. You might want to turn off that lantern again. The only reason people have to come to this side of the ship is to either repair a hull or change their clothes, so this can usually be a pretty good spot. Now this last spot's pretty tricky. You want to jump up on the back of the sloop and walk along the crossbar off of the edge of the ship very slowly until you notice that your character falls down slightly. Then you're going to want to back up into that corner and then use your emote. This one definitely takes a lot of practice, but this is a very good spot. So in the brig, probably my favorite spot is behind the curtain below decks. If you picked up the extra emote, you're going to want to use the pillar or wall hide right here. However, this spot is risky because if a hole pops up in their ship, they're going to be right next to you. The next spot is behind the captain's table. This is also risky because holes can pop up here. The barrels in front of the brig. You can hide in this little corner, and while this is risky because there's holes in a map, they normally won't see you here. If you're really desperate, you can use a pillar hide at the mast in the very front of the brig. So on the galleon, probably my favorite method is to just sword hop straight from the ladder to the captain's quarters and hide behind the captain's chair. Another good spot is on the back balcony. However, if there's a rowboat here or you get hit with a stray cannonball, this can ruin your spot. A really good spot is hiding on the boards poking out the sides of the galleon. However, if you're parked at an island, you probably want to be on the opposite side that they're climbing up. And as a last-ditch effort, you can actually hide in front of the wheel. Not many people look here. Another good spot on all ships is hanging onto their ladder. If it's too busy on deck and you can't climb up, if they haven't noticed you, you might just want to stay on their ladder until they leave their ship and you can go safely hide. An important thing to remember is that you can actually hide inside of treasure. So if you're on an enemy ship that has piles of loot, you can safely hide there. But just remember that they're eventually going to be turning that stuff in. So just make sure you move before that happens. Are they? This is actually a pretty good spot. Last but not least is the crow's nest. On any ship, this can be a pretty reliable spot, but it does have some risks. When climbing up, you're super exposed. If you're on a ship with newer players, they are more likely to go up there. Some players will store treasure or kegs up there, and if the mast gets knocked down, you're in trouble. However, if someone starts climbing up while you're hiding up there, you can usually hear them. There is a tactic that you can use. You can jump off of the crow's nest, grab the ladder again, climb up behind the person, and hide on the crossbar of the mast until they go back down. Then you can either stay where you're at or climb back up to the top of the crow's nest. When being stealthy in Sea of Thieves, rowboats can be a lifesaver. Parking your boat at a nearby island and rowing over is a great strategy. However, it is pretty time consuming, and sometimes your target might start sailing away before or right as you get there, in which case you might just have to take some risks and hope it works out. One of my favorite things to do in Sea of Thieves is using the speaking trumpet to disguise the direction of your voice. Directly behind, you don't see me? I'm swimming from quite far away. When using this, people can't really tell what direction you're talking from, even if you're on their own ship. This has so many uses. You can use this to make a player look in another direction if you need to change spots. You can even use this to imitate a nearby ship and try and start instigating fights. This is a very helpful tool and can be a lot of fun if you're just trying to troll some people. My brother and I once even used this to stop a ship that was on an Athena quest from quitting so that we could eventually steal the Chest of Legends.
They're about to scuttle. You need to get that ship off right now. Otherwise they're going to scuttle. We don't know where they're going to be.
Alright, scuttle.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, alright, everybody,
Hey guys, we'll back off. We'll back off. Don't worry. We're gonna let y'all be.
Okay.
Oh my god, Pete, it worked. Go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Now, using all of these things I've talked about, there's a really fun and advanced tactic you can try, which is instigating fights between other crews. You can do this by hiding on an enemy ship, using the speaking trumpet to try and convince other ships to come fight them. You can try and take over an enemy ship and then use that to attack other players and then hide amongst the chaos. There's so many options, but this can be a really good way to practice your stealth. Oh, go! Ram! Anchor! Keep fighting. Both of you keep fighting until I say you're done. Alright, now we just let them kill each other. Okay, that's it for me. I stream every weekday afternoon and most weekends at twitch.tv/blurbs. If you have any other questions or you just want to come say hi, feel free to stop by, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.